Welcome back to another episode. I am going to be making today some empanadas. These are so easy and they are gluten-free. We're not using any sort of wheat or dough. I'm going to be using plátano maduro. So I'm going to start off by sauteing the vegetables that are going to go inside of the empanada. Our filling is going to be really flavorful. It's going to have onion, peppers, carrots, potato. We're going to throw some olives and some raisins in there. I'm going to be using garlic and onion powder. It's basically the only things that I use every single time I cook. Everything else varies, but I'm always going to put garlic and onion powder in my food. I think it makes it taste really nice. It gives it another layer of flavor and more nuanced. I'm also going to be using annatto, which here we call it achiote, which is a red seed, and it's really beautiful. It adds so much flavor to the food. But if you can't find this in your supermarket, you can use paprika instead of annatto or achiote. The point of this is to give it really nice deep flavor, and it also provides a really nice color to the filling. And of course, I'm using a little bit of stevia. I have to sweeten this a tiny little bit just to take any acidity away from the tomato that I'm going to be using later on. All right, next I'm going to add my tomato paste. This is going to provide flavor. It's going to make it taste really nice. I'm also going to add some white vinegar to this as well. And now I'm going to add 1 cup of water because I'm going to add my soy crumbles now. And we want the potato to absorb the water. We want it to get soft and tender as well as the carrots. And now I'm going to add my soy crumbles. Now this I bought at my supermarket. It's dry and it already comes with a little bit of seasoning. Obviously I'm going to add my own seasoning to this, but you could, if you're in the US, you could use Beyond Meat or you could use Gardein. They have those little meat crumbles. What else? There's so many brands of meat substitutes now out in the market, so you can definitely play around with what kind of meat you're going to use. This is what's available to me here in Nicaragua in my supermarket. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that. And then I'm going to add more water to it. The box calls for about, I think, 1 cup of water. Now I'm going to add my raisins. This is another very classical component of Nicaraguan cuisine, especially around Christmas time or for empanadas or fillings. This is a really nice thing to add because it adds a little sweetness to it. And of course, I'm going to add some olives, which I'm just going to quickly chop on my board. I'm also going to add these beautiful green onions that I had chopped up previously. So now we're going to move on to our empanada dough, and this is going to be made with our ripe plantain. In Spanish we call it maduro. And I'm simply just going to take the plantain itself and I'm just going to start mashing it against my cutting board with a fork. Now, in order to form the disc in which the filling is going to go into, I'm going to be using a little plastic round, and this is something that I cut out of a rice bag. Here in Nicaragua, we use these to make our tortillas on, so you would put your dough on here, and then you flatten it, and then this you lay flat, the tortilla side you put on your pan, and then you just peel this off. So it makes it really easy so that when you go to form your empanada, it's gonna be on another surface so that it doesn't stick to your hand or it doesn't stick to your plate or your board. I'm gonna see how I go with 1/3 of that. I'm putting it down on the plate where I'm gonna be working. I'm just gonna work that into a circle. Our filling is delicious and it's ready. That was 2 tablespoons. I'm going to start with that. And you want to make sure you leave it about 1 inch away from the seam so that you have enough space to close it. and you pull away your little plastic, and then you can just close that up with your fork. That's so good. It's so crunchy on the outside. It's really nice and soft on the inside. It's so good. This filling can be used for so many things. You can make a pasta. You can just use it as your protein for your meal prep if you wanted to include it with some quinoa, some beans, some big gallo, and it keeps its shape really nicely. All right, that's it for this empanada recipe. That was so quick, easy, and super delicious. Like, these are so addictive. Like, I cannot just have one. That is a problem. But I'm gonna go off and eat the rest of my empanadas. I'm gonna give them to my mom, and if she approves, then I know that it's a winning recipe. That's it. I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be very soon. Please remember to subscribe and like this video because it really helps me with YouTube. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.